awesome. It says it is recording. Good. Okay, so I'm just recording a video and I'm going to upload it to YouTube just because I tried to do a live streaming event through YouTube and it kind of worked, but then it didn't, so I'm not 100% sure what happened with that. So we're going to have a little lesson this way and I'll just send you guys the link. By now I have called pretty much all of you and I've gotten some voicemails, but I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi. I'm your teacher, Mrs. Peterson, for English 10 this year, and I hope we're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun. Okay, so today I wanted to do just a little lesson about this acronym for writing that I call APE, or Tapeapec to be more specific. It's a formula to make and help you write a perfect paragraph, really. And this is how I will expect you to structure all of your paragraphs from here on out. Okay, so after I show you this today, and after you've watched this video, and after you have seen the lesson that I have uploaded into your actual learning station in Odyssey, where you are expected to write like this from here on out. And this, it's in a PDF now, but it's a PowerPoint I had created, is now in Odyssey-ware for you to go and look at on your own time, and so that you'll always have it. There is a question associated with it, so please make sure you do that as soon as possible. Okay, so we're going to get into it, and I'm just going to explain it to you. And this is really all about structured writing, because I believe that we need to have structured writing, and it helps us with writer's block, and it also just helps us be good, thorough writers. Okay, and so, like I said, this is how I'm going to expect you to write from here on out. Okay, so APE. It's not this guy, and this is my attempt at a little bit of humor. It's very cheesy, but that's just very much how I roll. APE stands for simply assert, prove, and explain. So that's great. You're going to be pretty much hearing this acronym over and over and over again, and this is how I'm going to expect you to write. It does go, it really goes along with argumentative writing, but it can go with whichever writing you choose to do, and how I expect you to write from here on out. Some people may have heard of PIE when they've heard of writing, which stands for point, illustrate, explain, and APE is very, very similar. Okay, so first, before we even start out, we're going to start off with assert. What does assert mean? Assert means to state a fact or belief confidently and forcefully. When you are writing and in argumentative essays or any paragraphs for that matter, you will need to make a point, and you will need to take a stance on that point, because you need to assert your opinion about it, okay? So make a stance and you stick with it. Having an opinion is 100% okay. Like when you're writing in the paragraphs and paragraph formats for the essay responses, it's asking your opinion, right? Like through the tunnel, how did the setting advance the plot, right? That's your question. You can have an assertion, you can have an opinion, you can have a point about the matter, and you should. Which brings us to our next part. If you're going to have an opinion, if you're going to assert something, you need to be able to have proof or evidence. So that brings us to proof, the P in APE. Proof means to demonstrate the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument. If you're going to assert an opinion about a topic, you need to have proof. You need to have evidence. In an argumentative essay, or in really any type of writing, paragraph writing, essays, etc., no one will believe your assertion or your opinion about a topic unless you have proof to back up what you are saying. You have to have examples in order to prove your point. Okay? So this would be like pulling quotes from the text, paraphrasing certain parts of a text. So yes, you do need to remember what you read. Next, that brings us into explain. Explain means to make an idea, situation, or problem clear to someone by describing it in more detail or revealing relevant facts or ideas. You have made your assertion and you have proof on what you're saying is truth, but you still need to explain it. You need to make it painfully clear what you're trying to say here and how it really does tie all together. Your explanation does need to tie everything together, and I can't express that enough. When you're writing, you need to make it painfully clear what you're saying. Never make your reader guess what you are trying to say. Albert Einstein says it best right here. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And this is what explain comes in. It really ties in your assertion and your proof together to make us, as your reader, understand. Great. So this is how I'm going to want you to write from the rest of the year, or the rest of the semester. You're going to do T, ape, ape, C. I want your paragraphs to be written in this format, so please pay attention. So T stands for topic sentence. A, assert. P, prove. E, explain. A, assert. P, prove. E, explain. C, conclusion. Each one of these is a sentence. I expect you to be writing 5 to 8 sentence paragraphs. Okay? You're at a point where that's at the level you should be at. A good, solid paragraph is always 5 to 8 sentences, and it's going to be written down in this formula. Why? It makes you a better writer, and your work and your writing flow better. Math, we have equations, right? To help us solve a problem. Why can't it be like that with English? Okay, with writing, we have a formula, and it's going to give us the answer to a perfect paragraph. So let's dig in a little deeper on what that looks like. Okay, first we're going to start off with the topic. Why are cats better than dogs? Or you could even put, which is better, dogs or cats? Okay, you need to make sure that you understand the prompt. You have some evidence to use it to prove your point and be ready to explain yourself, okay? So you need to make sure you understand a prompt or the question something is asking you perfectly clear before you even begin. If you don't understand something, you need to ask. Okay, so we're going to start off with T, our topic sentence. First, you need a topic sentence. This is pretty much saying what you are going to talk about. So, we have, cats are better than dogs, period. That's our topic sentence, okay? This shows what you're going to be talking about very clearly. And I know this is a very, very, very simple sentence, but guess what? It's a topic. Our reader knows exactly what we're talking about, which leads us into our A, our first assertion. This is your opinion or your point. Cats are better than dogs because they make better companion pets. Having an opinion about a subject is okay. Just make sure you have proof to back it up. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. This could probably be a topic sentence. And you're right. It could. But with paragraph writing, you could have, or even in essays, you could have multiple, you could have multiple thoughts about one subject. Having a topic sentence is going to put it apart, and your assertion is going to be what you're going to talk about to tie into the topic, if that makes sense. Okay, next we have prove. You have to be able to back up your assertion or your point. So according to cats.com, cats have better calming auras. Awesome. So now we have a point. Now we have proof of our point on why cats are better than dogs. You know, evidence and proof to back up what you're saying, but you need to be able to explain it all. And by the way, all my facts for this paragraph are totally made up, but this is just to show you how it's all put together. Now we go into explain. Now you tie in your point and your proof. This means that when you have a cat as a pet, they protrude calmness, which makes you, as the owner, calm. Okay, awesome. Now we know what our whole assertion was about. That ties into our topic. Okay, you need to be able to really explain yourself, be painfully clear. You may think that you might be sounding redundant or repetitive, but you're really not. You'd have to try really, really hard, I guess, to really be that boring with writing, I believe. And this is just making it clear, because sometimes I read a lot of different papers and a lot of different responses, and I just know this. I can't get inside your head. I don't know your thinking pattern or your process. You need to be able to show it to me in writing. Okay, now we've already aped something out. Because we're going to have a 5 to 8 sentence paragraph, we need to have another set of ape. That's going to tie into our topic. Okay, you're going to ape again because this makes your paragraph more thorough. Meaty paragraphs equals happy teacher. Okay, so we have our next assertion. Cats make better pets than dogs because they are less clingy. Great, let's learn how they are less clingy. According to dogs.com, dogs require more attention and can often be seen always next to their owners. Okay, great. Let's explain how these two even tie together. Having a pet always by your side could be nice, but the amount of attention dogs require exceeds that of a cat, which makes them less appealing than that of a feline companion. Awesome. This ties in exactly what this proof and this assertion were saying. Okay, I did forget to put in the slide about the conclusion sentence. So if you look right here, here's our concluding sentence. This is tying everything in and just wrapping up what we say. And I will say this, if you are going to have a conclusion sentence that's wrapping everything up, it needs to be in sequence, in sequential order, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, here's our concluding sentence. Cats are far superior companions than dogs because they provide a sense of calm to the owners and are less high maintenance. Okay, the sense of calm, we just talked about that with the calming auras. That's always going to be number one. And number two, it's less high maintenance. That was our second assertion. This is going to go at the bottom. Why? Order and flow. Okay, so when we tie everything together, this is our nice meaty paragraph. Cats are better than dogs. Cats are better than dogs because they make better companion pets. According to cats.com, cats have better calming auras. This means that when you have a cat as a pet, they protrude calmness, which makes you as the owner calm. Cats make better pets than dogs because they are less clingy. According to dogs.com, dogs require more attention and can often be seen always next to their owners. Having a pet always by your side could be nice, but the amount of attention dogs require exceeds that of a cat, which makes them less appealing than that of a feline companion. Cats are far more superior companions than dogs because they provide a sense of calm to the owners and are less high maintenance. Okay, now that we've put it all together, we've got a perfect paragraph. It flows nicely, it ties in together. We are explaining exactly why cats are better than dogs, and we have proof, and we're explaining it. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, this is kind of a silly little topic, and it could be more eloquent, it could be more blah, 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 but guess what? It's thorough. You know exactly what it's saying, and you exactly have proof to talk about it. So this is how I want you to do your paragraphs. So you're going to be expected to write this way from here on out. This will help you with writer's block and just form a good paragraph, okay? Now, if you have any questions about APE, I want you to email me, or you could even call me. All my contact information was on that welcome letter email I sent out, okay? And you can also find it in the overview in Unit 1, okay? But remember, topic sentence, assertion, proof, explain, assertion, proof, explain, conclusion sentence. That makes a perfect paragraph. All right, and when we get more into essays, you can use this, but instead of concluding, you put in transitions. But we'll talk about that more later. Again, this is Tapeapec, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you really need to contact me, and we'll talk about it more thoroughly. And again, remember, I put the Tapeapec slideshow that I showed you, I made it into a PDF, and it is in your Unit 1, and I think it is before Quiz 2. So please go look at that and review it. You can save it, what have you. But yeah, that's Tapeapec, and I hope you enjoy that. Until next week, I look forward to talking with you guys again soon. Bye-bye.